days. What they got at the end was just promises and 1 month salary out of 11. As we speak right now, those monies have not been completely cleared. I've seen a club in the women league here, FCT Queens. They are different now.
Yeah.
Theirs were 18 months. They were not paid. Kaduna United, we also remember their case. Theirs was 12 months then, 1 full year, no salaries, no that. At the end of the day, how long are we going to continue like this? It's the same thing across board. Even the individuals themselves, look at the family about what they did last season. 8 months, 9 months, no salaries for the players. They practically left for free. A lot of those players left with their clearance for free in exchange of the monies they were supposed to get.
Exactly.
One of them came to Rivers United here, was Jimo. So at the end of the day, the clubs are not being run professionally, such that they will eventually stand on their own. And clubs are run. What we see here. You have a club, you have a chairman that is appointed by the governor, or maybe the sports commissioner, as the case may be, to head this club, maybe as a political settlement. He played a role in your election. You come in and say, okay, come, what will take us to you? And we'll go here. He doesn't know any jack about club
and
administration.
he has to do everything to protect the interests of the government.
Exactly. So at the end of the day, we are just going back in circles. And these boys are earning huge money these days. No more sign-on fees. Those sign-on fees have been broken down into their salaries, as a matter of fact. Now you can see a player in the MPFL earning as much as 700k, exactly. 800, 1 million. Some players earn 1 million. You understand? Look, you're not earning too much. Maybe the likes of Gorand or some of these other smaller clubs can earn 150, but just one or two of them. The other clubs pay nothing less than 350, 400, 500, as the case may be. You understand? Now, put that together. For instance, for a club like Rivers United, you have players 600,000 a month, and you multiply that by 35 players that you registered. That's big money for just 1 month. That's salary alone. You have not traveled away to go, take prosecute games. You have not paid the match bonuses. You see, the weight is heavy. Now, the club is not making dime from gate takings. The gate takings. If you just carry and put for your pocket like this, they come up for stadium. Because at the end, they don't have up to 300 people who pay 200 naira to watch games. It's not even up to 60,000 naira.
ID card.
No, the area don't fill everywhere. It's laughable. It's laughable. You understand? But that is the way to go. We need to take the clubs away from the government. Government don't run football, and what they do in other climes is to give us facilities. You understand? Give you an enabling environment for your soccer to thrive, for your sports to thrive. That's what they do. They build stadiums and they use the stadiums to play your games. And individuals or maybe corporate bodies coming together to own clubs and all that. It happens, but not the way we are doing it here. So and we'll continue like this.
Does this in any way hinder the LMC from placing sanctions on these club sides that falter in paying their players wages, salaries, and match bonuses?
Well, Emeka has broken it down, and I think if you heard him, let me just rephrase something. The weight of this money is too much on the government, and I think the LMC too, they understand what it means to work in this league. That's why some sanctions we even call for, they find it difficult to give it, because they know the gravity of some of these issues and where it stems from. They understand where it comes from. Sometimes they can't even give these sanctions. You know what it means to pay this amount of money. You just give a little.
They don't pay. In essence, in truth, they don't pay these monies. When they say academy rules, we're finding you 3 million naira, you pay 1 million naira to referees and whatever. They don't. Those monies they don't come from the coffers of the club at the end of the day. Somehow LMC might say, okay, if they don't even have money again these days, as a matter of fact. Where the season will end, they will now say, okay, each club will get so XYZ amounts of money based on pro rata basis, from the top to the bottom team, based on where you finish on the table. And, maybe Rangers, the winners of the league, will go home with 40 million naira. Second place team will get 30 as till the fourth team. Now, if you're owing now, they will not say, okay, you're supposed to get 5 million, but you're owing us 3.5 million naira. We'll take it from there. We'll not give you 1.5 million naira. So that's what they do. These clubs don't have money to pay. They don't even have money to travel for away games. They go to borrow monies to travel. I was speaking to an official of Enyimba the other day. He told me that in the game against Remo Stars, they had to go and borrow on the day of the match to prosecute that game, to travel to Ishagamu for that game. So it's that bad. It's the same thing with Rivers United. Don't look at me like Enyimba is the only ones.
No, we know how it works.
Club in the MPFL, things are that difficult for them because it is, the cost of running clubs in Nigeria is very difficult, and the clubs are not making profit. They only depend on government to give them money, and is coming back to bite the government so much.
Over now to the camp of Nigeria's Flying Eagles under 20 team this afternoon. We're ahead of the FIFA under 20 World Cup campaign, which kicks off tomorrow, Thursday, 23rd May 2019. And of course, in Poland, Nigeria's Flying Eagles coach Paul Aigogun has stated that playing Qatar in the first match would not be easy, but assured Nigerians that they are ready. Aigogun stated this while speaking with reporters after their first training session in Poland.
Preparation has been good. And I think now what we need to do is go and get into the first game. The first game is most important. I won't go as far as say we are going to conquer Africa.
And of course, Reliance, how confident are you with this team?
Well, that's a question that brings a little doubt and mix up in my mind. Am I totally confident with the team or am I not? Well, they've gone this far. They've qualified for the Under 20 World Cup. They are said to be in Poland, or if they're not in Poland, they're in Poland already. Yeah, so they're going to take up their first game, not necessarily tomorrow, and they are set. So I think if I want to give them credit, I'll give them for going this far. But are they going to deliver in Poland? That's a very big question to be answered, and that's a question that is only left to be seen, or the answer itself is left to be seen on how they are going to perform. And first off, I want to say that just like the coach stated, the first game in any particular tournament matters, especially when it's a group game. So if we can try to find a way to win the first game of the tournament, I know they have an advantage going up, but we are only hoping and waiting and see how far they are going to go in this particular tournament. Talking about the Under 20 Flying Eagles.
Wisdom, are you confident about the coaching crew?
Top striker, it doesn't look like I would be confident, or any Nigerian too who saw them at the AFCON. But take nothing away from Paul Aigogun. We know what he has done, at least in the MPFL.
What has he done?
No, at least he's one of the finest coaches, I tell you. Not the best, you want to say. You want to mention free flow football, you call Abdul Meikaba. At least Paul Aigogun, if you call 10 coaches in the MPFL, at least over the past 4 seasons, if I'm not mistaken, he should be among the names right there. But when it comes to this team, if I'm judging based on this team, I don't think he has done well when it comes to his tactics. Now, we saw him at the AFCON. We saw some changes that should have been made, at least a couple of games we were able to see. So I think for me, if that's where my confidence should stem from, then I think he's not a huge bunch to be confident in. But when it comes to Nigerian coaches generally, top striker, there is no confidence anywhere for me, because I don't really understand the philosophy, and once I don't know your style, I don't really know how to judge if you're performing or not. If all you do is come in, I see them the same thing. There's no ration for display. When they come on the pitch, is it 4-3-3? Is it free total football? Is it massive defense, massive attack? Do you come from the wing? Do you do passing? And all that. But we don't see some of these things, and I can't tell you sincerely. And that's why I'm even short of words when it comes to what Paul Aigogun, outside maybe getting some teams to finish well in the league and maybe playing a couple of finals. I can't pinpoint one thing I feel I can attribute to Paul Aigogun. But when it comes to the side, I think he has a decent side, and it's an under 20. We don't need to know too many names, in this team to actually pick. We need talents. We're not really interested in someone who has been established. So the names for me, not the biggest of deals, but once it comes to the coaching part, I would actually feel the coach needs to bring out something. But when it comes to philosophy, generally, not just Paul Aigogun, there is no coach I can pick out outside Abdul Meikaba that I've seen do.
It's part of the technical
beautiful
thing.
Yeah. But the question is, how long has he been with his side?
I think he's on his way.
He was in Nigeria.
He was on the bench of play over the weekend, Monday. I think he's on his way to
so how much contribution would he make on it? Even
but he has been working with the team during the qualifiers and all that,
Meka, I think knowing Paul Aigogun over time, from he first coming with the Eyimba, Warri Wolves, Eyimba again, and the inconsistency we saw with his team list. The team that qualified, the team that went to the AFCON.
Just 9 players that made it to the AFCON, are there in Poland right now.
Going to this tournament right now. So how confident are you? Wisdom made mention about style, tactics. How many African teams that have conquered the world at any other age level have gone with a style? Putting all these things into perspective, how confident are you about Paul Aigogun and his boys? Ready for the first match against Qatar?
I'm not very confident they will go all the way, because it looks like that's the target, or maybe the charge handed over to them by the NFF. Ahmad Jupenik did speak with the boys a few days ago, and he said they should go there and do Nigeria proud, come back with the trophy, win and all that. From the perspective of the NFF, they seem to have given them the best of preparations, camping them in Germany 3 weeks prior to the tournament. Before then, of course, in the course of the camping, they did play Saudi Arabia, who are also making it to the World Cup and all that. And I mean, there's so much change in that team. I tell you, 9 players only from the team that qualified for the World Cup. We saw them at the AFCON, and they didn't look quite impressive in the Niger Republic, finishing 4th overall. And here we have the coach with lots of new players. I mean, you need to even go to Google to get information about some of these new players. Thank God for our friend Fisayo Dero, who did write something about some of the squad players there, at least to throw more light on some of these players, because they are relatively unknown. They are unfamiliar faces. I mean, you don't have up to 10 home-based players there to say that you won't even look at the MPFL guys. A lot of them are based abroad, and they are not the ones that we know hitherto. I'm surprised Afiza Remo did not even eventually make the team after being part of this one for some time. The likes of Nazifi, who shone like a million stars at the AFCON in Niger Republic, did not equally make it. But come on, we have Valentine Ozonwafo and Ikowe Moda. We know them. I mean, what they can bring to the table. For Ikowe Moda, very experienced. He's also the captain of the side, and let's hope they'll be able to surprise us all. I don't think, for me, I don't think they will go all the way. All the way means winning the World Cup. I probably see them making it to the quarterfinals, and if they surprise me, then they get to the semifinals. But come on, this is a tournament. It's different from the qualifiers. It's different from friendly games. You go there, surprise element. Stars are born in tournaments like this, and we could see. We've heard so many names: Henry Ofia, the one that calls himself little young Messi, success Makunjola. We heard so many names, and we are hoping that they'll be able to live to their billing, so to say.
But on paper, the group we find ourselves, Qatar, USA, Ukraine, should be a fair one for us to qualify from that group.
Fair, because for Qatar, yes. You will say their football is on the rise right now. The senior team won the Asian Cup earlier this year. They are hosting the World Cup. They've invested a lot in the Aspire Academy in Doha, and at the end of the day, it's yielding so much benefit. Come on, our own Henry Onyokuru was a product of the Aspire Academy, so a lot of homegrown talents have passed through that system, and their youth game is also on the rise. They qualified ahead of the other teams in their group prior to the World Cup, so you think they should be able to also give us a good fight on the opening game, opening game on Friday. But USA are traditionally a good youth team, anytime, any day, from under 17 to under 20. Yes, they might not have won any of them, but come on, they always do well. They always churn out talents. Most of them, people in diaspora, people from other parts of the world who naturalized there. George Weah's son is playing in this tournament.
Exactly.
The PSG man who went on loan to Celtic is playing in this tournament. So that's to tell you how it could be. Freddie Adu was also a product of a tournament like this, exactly, from Ghana, but of course naturalized in the US in the early 2000s and all that. So let's see what eventually happens. But I'm thinking that it's a fair group. We can get it right. We might not necessarily finish first or second because of the third best team.
Exactly.
Yeah, we can even finish third and still qualify.
And of course, time to go to the phone lines and hear what the callers have to say this afternoon. What do you make about Nigeria's group ahead of the first match against Qatar on Friday at the Under-20 World Cup right there in Poland? How confident are you with Paul Aigbogo and his boys? I will told you about the MPFA where Accra United protested about unpaid sign-on fees on Monday and blocked the offices, saying that will continue until they get everything due to them. And of course, not forgetting the NBA, where the Toronto Raptors have even the series 2-2 against the Milwaukee Bucks. Let's hear from you. Keep the calls coming through 0817 000951 and 0810 951 0817 000951 and 0810 Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Your name and location, please. Welcome. Let's hear from you.
Okay, I want to emphasize on Inter players. I don't know the reason. Inter is making a lot of money, even though in the ticket store they make money.
Yeah, those monies they make on a match day is not even enough to pay maybe two players' salaries there in a month.
Okay, and if you make out anybody can make up to $1 million in a day.
That's what they are saying. That 1 million is not up to the salary of two players in that team.
Players who earn $650 that team every month.
Okay. You see that we sold 2 players, and those 2 players we made after I done my research, we made up to 100 million on it. We sell Stephen Nwogu in 2007. Where the money go? Don't know. So
2007 to now is 12 years. Instead of about $2 million to is it Al Hilal or El Merreikh then in Sudan?
We made a lot of money from there. Even our players that went to World Cup, the money that went to World Cup, we're not seeing it. And it's around that net. We are suffering here in Aba, trying to watch good football, but the management are not trying. That is what I have to say.
Okay, thank you so much. Hello, we'll keep lost that call. Do you want to call us back? But you can equally send SMS and WhatsApp to the number 0701-9339-962. 0701-9339-962 for SMS and WhatsApp. Or on Twitter, you can tweet at me at Emmanuel9001, at Emmanuel9001, or at Emeka Dena. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Your name and location, please.
My name is Andrew. I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
Please turn down the volume of your radio set.
All right, I will do that.
Okay, let's hear from you.
See, what is happening in the Nigerian League is surely a shame. Last time, Rivers United, very soon now we'll hear about Lobby Stars and other things. The thing is, they will keep repeating it always. And there's no way that they can just stop this. And second, again, please, I want to ask a question. This Ngulukate injury, any update about it?
Yes, he has resumed training, so he should be in the finals for Chelsea against Arsenal.
Yes. Okay. And secondly, I want to say congratulations to Lobby Stars because I believe they have made the Super 6. Am I correct?
They have not made it. They have to go to the final day. They are going to Remo Stars.
Okay, that one is to show 3 points for them. And I wish them what they do.
Okay, thank you so much. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, everyone. Studio.
Good afternoon, Louis. Welcome to the program.
Okay, it's Louis calling from Lupaco.
Yes,
okay, hello. Okay, I want to talk about the Kwara United players that protesting.
Okay, go ahead.
See, there is this person that you're talking to last week. It's very, very wrong for us to be accumulating this money 3 months, 6 months, 7 months, still playing. You understand? It's too much. At least after 1 month, they have not paid you. They no promises. To come and they no promise. You protest for your money. You protest because when you keep it up to 8 months, 9 months, it's not going to pay. It's not going to pay. I'm locking the government out of assembly doesn't mean anything. Those guys don't know you. Seriously. They have no passion for what you are doing, so it's none of their business. They will not react to it.
They do. They usually react. I mean, most times when they do that, they react. At least the case study is that of Port Harcourt here.
Exactly.
Port Harcourt in 2014, when the Sharks and Dolphins slept in front of government house.
Yes, we just come out. Don't worry. We are afraid your grievancing. We will see you next week. We talk to the management. Bye-bye. That life goes on. Very simple. So you take the way you behave. After one, you are not pay, you protest. After just 1 month, you protest. Don't play. Don't play because the only man is an angry man, right? So you should do all these things right. My brother Emeka, I think I share in everything I've been saying today. Everything I've been saying today, I share, I vote for it. So you're 100% right. And one thing is that, you know, seeing is believing. The only way you can take this league to another level, another dimension, like to the sky, even to the moon, just let us see on TV. And how can we do that, We should not focus our attention on DSTV. Because going to DSTV, we cannot have all our matches on TV, but if you can use our local TV here, it's a shortcut for us. It's a shortcut for everybody in Nigeria after the station TV guys, so right?
Okay.
So, this question start from this. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Louis from Rukwaku this afternoon. Keep the calls coming through. You can equally send SMS and WhatsApp to the number 0701-9339-962. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, brother.
Your name and location, please.
My name is Chideze, calling from Port Harcourt.
Welcome to the program. Let's hear from you.
Thank you. Talking about those that are owing about a footballer. I'm not a footballer, but I pity for those people. Why government do not want to pay them some money? Is it not the business they are doing? If football they are playing, is it not coming anything from the federal government or state government? I think they are benefiting anything from this footballer. Please, they should pay them the money. Please, what is the Enugu Rangers score now? Please, I want to know. Thank you.
Enugu Rangers are top. They have qualified for the Super 6 right there in Group A, and of course, their last game is just a mere formality. So they have booked a place in the Super 6 right there in the NPFL. Let's go to other matters this afternoon.
Quickly, just before we go, of course, on late Coach Solomon Ogbede, who passed on 2 days ago, the LMC have announced that all the clubs, coaches and players in the MPFL will tie black armband on the final day, and of course a minute silence will also be observed in his honor before match day 22 encounters this weekend,
which happens to be the last game for the regular season.
Before this playoffs as well.
And of course, a good one right there from the LMC. Over now to Europe, where Petr Cech will return to Chelsea this summer in a new sporting director role at the club, according to reports. The Arsenal goalkeeper, who turned 27 on Monday, announced he will retire from playing after next Wednesday's Europa League final in Azerbaijan against his former and future employers at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea have been without a technical director since Mikel Arteta's resignation in November 2017, as director Marina Granovskaya has taken on the majority of the old duties since he departed the club. It is not clear at this stage exactly what responsibilities Cech will have, but he could share some of the burden in terms of recruitment and bridging the gap between the board and the manager. Cech remained coy on social media, reiterating that he will make a decision after the Europa League final in Baku. Meanwhile, Arsenal midfielder Henrik Mkhitaryan will not play in the Europa League final against Chelsea on the 29th of May. It's understood the Armenian, who is 30, feared for his safety on the pitch in Baku, Azerbaijan. It said that having considered all current options, we had to take the tough decision for me not to travel with the squad to the Europa League final. According to Mkhitaryan, it is a kind of game that doesn't come along very often, and I admit it hurts a lot to miss it. As a result of the political tensions between Azerbaijan and Armenia, Mkhitaryan has missed club matches played in Azerbaijan in the past. Let me start for you, Wisdom. First and foremost, Chelsea probably chose the right spot at the right time to offer Petr Cech this job just a week to the Europa League final, which has caused an uproar in England. Chelsea Arsenal fans are now going for a poll that they prefer Ben Leno to be in goal because of the affiliation between Cech and Chelsea. And I don't know what you make about all this. And of course, the guy has come out to downplay it, but of course, it's already there for him.
Well, first I would say it would be really football tactics, be negative tactics, from Chelsea. If you want to look at it from that direction, but it's a very, very wrong time to actually put this one out. And I don't even understand how Cech take nothing away from the statements he has made. He has said he would think about it. There is nothing to say. Top striker Petr Cech is the next sporting director of Chelsea. There's no mincing words. So, but the timing of this information is what is actually it really gets me worried. Now, you look at the fact that this is a very, very serious encounter. It's the Europa League final. And of course, we know what it means to both sides. Yes, for Chelsea, they've already qualified for the Champions League. But the coach needs a trophy in his cabinet, or at least put up himself. Some still believe that his position there is not safe yet. And you now make this kind of announcement when they have an Arsenal team who needs it at all costs. It doesn't really make sense for me. And I just feel they want to use this to destabilize the Arsenal side, reduce their focus at this point in time. Because the Arsenal camp now, they are a little confused. Who's going to be keeping for us? I'm sure Unai Emery, maybe early by tomorrow morning, we'll be getting to hear some of this. He has been answering those kind of questions. It doesn't make sense, top striker at this point in time. And I don't know, but if Petr Cech himself didn't do much, because it could be that he has made the decision with the Chelsea board some weeks prior to this time, and just maybe the Chelsea board decided on their own to actually make this announcement or find a way to leak it to the media so that it could spread some kind of confusion in the Arsenal squad, because that's what it is. Now we even hear that some kind of poll has been set up. Some people should vote. Is it Ben Leno or Petr Cech coming in? A lot of people have been asking that Leno should come in, because of course you don't expect a man who is leaving to Chelsea to actually keep for Arsenal, to actually keep for Arsenal, and you expect Chelsea to beat him and he'll be going over to help Chelsea the next time. It might be that his integrity, he might be the kind of person that wouldn't do that, yes. But what would be the eyes of the people? If he makes a mistake on that day, I tell you, top striker, a lot of people feel he's gifting it to us, to Chelsea. So I think it's a very, very wrong time. And from all indications, just to quell the anger of the fans and to set all mathematics straight, Unai Emery might decide to opt for Leno in goal instead of Petr Cech.
And I will support him if he does that. We know Petr Cech has been the one manning the post for Arsenal in the Europa League. While Leno takes care of league duties and all that. Now, just like you said, there's a relatively, a slight conflict of interest there if you look at it very well, because this man is bound for Chelsea to take up a role. He's a Chelsea legend. He's not an Arsenal legend.
Yeah.
If you talk about Arsenal legend, you don't talk about Peter Cech. He's a Chelsea legend through and through. I mean, the goalkeeper with the most clean sheets, in the Premier League, history, and of course, he did achieve that with Chelsea. So at the end of the day, you look at this man. He's bound for Chelsea again.
Partly with Arsenal too.
Yes, but of course, most of those games were for Chelsea. Spent over a decade playing for Chelsea. And at the end of the day, he's going back to Chelsea to take up another role. And you want to play him against Arsenal, in his former club. I mean, we are human beings. His
supposedly his very last game.
Yes, exactly. His sentiments, I mean, it could affect him psychologically. He might not be, in his best shape with some soft spot for Chelsea. Knowing fully well that after that match, he's heading straight to Chelsea. I think I will feel the other goalkeeper in his place in this case. I mean, let him not go there and be overtaken by sentiments. He's a professional. We expect him to also do his business without bringing sentiments and into it. But come on, it's a win-win situation for him. He has won the Europa League before with Chelsea. He has won the Champions League with Chelsea. He's won everything with Chelsea, and winning it with Arsenal might not be a huge one.
He will still get a winner's medal. He's still on the bench. Reliance to Mkhitaryan's case. How much of a loss will Mkhitaryan's absence be for Arsenal in the final?
Well, first off, for a player of his caliber and his status and what he has been able to achieve for Arsenal in the season, I think it's going to be a loss in his own right. But do we have players in the Arsenal team to fill his gap? Maybe not necessarily, not absolutely, but I think Arsenal can do without him at the moment. Since the issue came up, I'm pretty certain that Arsenal were preparing already, to go to Baku against Chelsea without Mkhitaryan, because this won't be the first time Mkhitaryan failed to appear at Azerbaijan due to the political conflict between Armenia and Azerbaijan. Even when he was at Germany, he didn't travel with Dortmund at the time, and then far back, I think even against Karabakh, the Arsenal won 3-0. He didn't travel with them, so I'm sure immediately UEFA picked Azerbaijan as the venue for the finals. I'm sure Arsenal must have been preparing, for a life without Henry Mkhitaryan in the final. So it's going to be a loss in his own right for the position he plays. But do Arsenal have a team that can fill the gap? I think they do.
Wisdom, we see a case of politics intermingling with sports again, sadly.
Well, we always believe that football can be that hidden link, to settle conflicts most of the time. We talk about the North here in the MPFL, where teams go over, and of course everybody comes to cheer, be it at whatever that is going on in the state. But of course, this one, I think football has lost it. We're thinking just maybe he will be allowed to go. But for once in a while, it's politics over football. And I tell you, if you look at the reasons, on the table, you want to say for the young man's life. Now, if they get there, a lot of sentiments, and how tribalism and things could come in, and religion also, basically tribalism and the problems between the two, Armenia and Azerbaijan. So,
according to the report, they say UEFA have told Azerbaijan they provided all the security they can, but he just said he's not satisfied. He just wants to opt out. So, according to the sports minister for Azerbaijan, they've done all the best, met all the requirements UEFA set for them, but
no, it's top striker is a serious issue. Now, the territory that is being fought for between the two countries is the Karabakh region. Now, and if it happens that he travels over there, there've been a lot of blood queues years before now, because of that region. He knows what it is, what has happened, both in Armenia and in Azerbaijan because of that issue. So if you even tell him there's security, there's little you can do to curb the fans. You can only do your own bit inside the stadium. How much will you hold the fans? And he's going to be traveling into the nest, of the enemies you want to see. So I think that's one of the reasons why they decided that he should actually stay back.
Because some journalists are now calling that Chelsea and Arsenal should boycott the final. And because they feel UEFA did not think through this before they picked the final in Azerbaijan.
Well, why would they boycott the final? What offenses
since politics
UEFA commits?
Since politics have come right now to affect the game to
just one player.
So they feel
just one player from one team.
Even some fans cannot even gain access to go see the final. They've been denied entry visa to go see the game. So some journalists are saying it doesn't portray the sport very well.
It's too late now to correct all those. And I think they will learn from this experience. It wasn't a very wonderful decision in the end. It could have been Eintracht Frankfurt playing against maybe Napoli, in the final of the competition.
Exactly.
Or maybe two other teams from not from England, without a player that has issue with the country where the competition, the final will be played. We wouldn't have been talking about this by now. You understand? So it's just because you have first, Henrik Mkhitaryan, who, by the way, his country, is having issue with the the host country and all that. That's why it's going this way. But I think in the long run they should consider other factors, a wide range of factors before choosing a venue for the final of the competition. And by the way, Asamoah Gyan's retirement did not last up to 48 hours.
Exactly.
Because there's a political power, the political intervention. The president of the country, the president of Ghana has intervened and he said he can't say no to the president. So he's back to the Black Stars, heading to the World Cup.
So quickly,
is
this an advantage for Chelsea in Mkhitaryan's absence?
No, not necessarily. He's not. The team is not built around him. It's not. The team is not built around him.
No, for you too.
It's not.
It's not. Time to go to the phone lines. Let's see what the callers have to say. Mkhitaryan not going to the Europa League final for Arsenal against Chelsea. Do you think it's an advantage for Chelsea, or what do you make about that? Politics intermingling with sport, and of course, Peter Cech has been told to take over the role of director of football or director of sport right there at Chelsea. And of course, should he man the post for Arsenal against Chelsea in the final? Keep it short and simple. Of course, 0817-0000-951 and 0810-951-0951. What do you make about Europa League final? Peter Cech and Ben Leno, who should man the post for you? Do you think Peter Cech will have some sort of sentiment playing against his former club in his very last game right there? And of course, Mkhitaryan not being available for the Champions League final because of political tensions. Hello, good afternoon.
Right, good afternoon.
Eto, welcome to the program. Pick it short and simple.
I'm very, very happy with the Samuel Jan issue. That is how a good country should have been. A president listening to the cry of the people. Now they have intervened. The guy will go to that tournament with happiness. At least it's good. If they are Nigeria, nobody.
Thank you so much for that. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Your name and location, please. Marvelous. Welcome. Let's hear from you quickly.
Yes, concerning hospital, I'm a national fan. If I take the North fan vote for us, Leno and Martinez take over the.
Okay, thank you so much. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Your name and location, please.
Mike from Ramadan.
Mike, welcome. Let's hear from you quickly.
I want to know. I say, what is UEFA's stand on this issue about Mkhitaryan? What is their stand on the issue? Because they're supposed to provide security for the match. So how far have they guaranteed the fans and everybody? What is their comment?
They have given the guarantee.
They've given the guarantee, but the guy
they've
given the guarantee, but the guy is not sure about it. So you just have to opt out.
Then I don't think there's anybody that will force him. They cannot shift the event because of one man. They fixed that ground when they started the game, when everybody was neutral. They didn't fix it when they have Arsenal made it to the final or Chelsea. So they should make do without him and let's move forward, please. They'll come out to guarantee they have the event, they host the event, and they have their security in check. So
okay.
They protect the event.
Thank you so much. Right there. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Your name and location, please.
I'm Student Chief calling you from Delta State.
Let's hear from you. Welcome.
I believe UEFA has not done anything wrong. That they should not guarantee the young man is 50 over there in Azerbaijan. We should not go see they have political differences between Azerbaijan and Armenia. But I believe Czech, going back to Czech, is not a priority for not putting him in the post. What if Arsenal loses the trophy to Chelsea? Will they blame the coach or they blame the other people that have been using the placing Czech? Because he's going to Chelsea as a sporting director.
Okay, thank you so much. Lance, your message is coming through.
Yes, Gospel David in Polorim will say, stop striker and crew of Today FM. Did Samuel Chukwueze travel with our flying eagle?
No, he did not.
He didn't. It's with the Super Eagles, yeah. And then this one's coming in from Emmanuel from Rainbow says, Pulisic is 20 years old and from USA. Was where he played at the Under-20 World Cup. Okay, this is coming in from Samuel Tubotamino from Billy. And he says, please, I want to know when Anthony Joshua have a fight, but the way Wilder blew that Dominic, I was afraid he would die. Thank you very much. And then from our WhatsApp,
Joshua is fighting on the first of June against Andy Ruiz Jr. Of course, make that a second if you're in Nigeria.
From our WhatsApp portal, we have this one coming in from Ebels in Junior from Port Harcourt. He says, good afternoon, everyone in the studio. A laborer is entitled to his or her wages. Why are they not paying these players? Please, these guys have done theirs. The management should do theirs. He goes on to say, whoever Arsenal chooses to fill in their goalposts, they should feel come that day, Chelsea will still carry the day.
Because quickly on Twitter, Apostle Rosen says the Chelsea announcement on check before the Europa League final is done with ulterior motive, mind game, but it's bad because they are setting check up. He went on to say there's nothing LMC can do about issues of salaries in the MPFL. They have threatened several times LMC needs these government clubs. And lastly, he said Raptors or Bucks are fighting for second position. None can match the Warriors. We all know this. Is a wrap on the show this afternoon. Many thanks to the guys in Mecca Dena, Wisdom Bobin, and of course many thanks to Reliance who put this package together. If not for anything, at least for your heart to do some sports. But that comes up tomorrow morning by 7:30 a.m. Bye-bye and stay blessed.
Today, 95.1 FM, the voice of the people. Every day, every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today, 95.1 FM.
Today, 95.1 FM. Port Harcourt. News update.
Good afternoon, and here is the news update on Today 95.1 FM. I am Ifeimi Andrew. The Nigerian Senate has urged the Rivers State government to immediately liaise with the security agencies in the state to stop the incessant killings and kidnapping of innocent citizens. The Senate came up with a resolution following a motion titled Frightening Killings in Rivers State, moved by Senator Andrew Uchendu of Rivers East Senatorial District. The Senate also urged the federal and the Rivers State government to develop workable strategies that would stop the rising cases of killings in the state. Nigeria's upper chamber therefore appealed to all sons and daughters of Rivers State to work towards finding a lasting peace in the state. And wife of late Ferik Berigbe, Ronke Berigbe, has filed a fundamental human rights action against the Nigeria police and former commander of anti-robbery squad in Rivers State, Akin Fakorede, before State High Court sitting in Port Harcourt. Ronke Berigbe is asking the court to make some declarations, award some compensation, and ensure justice against those who allegedly murdered her husband during the just concluded governorship and State House of Assembly elections in the state. Correspondent Uchendu Ejewo reports that Justice Enebile ordered that notice of service be served on the two defendants. Speaking to newsmen outside the court, counsel to the plaintiff Lezina Amegwa expressed concerns over the absence of the defendants in court, but expressed hope that justice will be done in the matter.
Our prayers are laid out in our application, and most importantly, the court will look at it and also do justice to our prayers accordingly. The deceased has a right to life as it is enshrined under Chapter 4 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, specifically Section 33 of the Nigerian Constitution gives him that right to his fundamental right, which can fundamental right to life. Praying the court for claims, damages because it cannot go that way. There must be positions, there must be actions that will be taken that would forestall this kind of injustice, this kind of extrajudicial killings in our society.
Hearing was fixed for 14th of June, and the Elections Petition Tribunal sitting in Port Harcourt will tomorrow hear a motion in the petition filed by the African Action Congress and its candidate Biok Bomabo Awara against INEC, the PDP, and its candidate Governor Nyesom Wike. Senior lawyer Chijioke Tasie, who appeared for both African Action Congress and its candidate Biok Bomabo Awara, informed the court of an ex parte motion for change of legal representation. In the motion granted, Chijioke Tasie and his team will only represent the governorship candidate of AAC, while Henry Bello will represent the party AAC. The three-man panel, led by Justice G.K. Kaigama, after listening to arguments from the parties, adjourned till tomorrow, the 23rd of May, 2019, to hear the motion. And now, the governor of Bayelsa State, Seraki Dixon, has called on other governors to adhere to the principle of rotation in the election of a new leader for the Nigerian Governors Forum. Governor Dixon, who is also the chairman of the South-South Governors Forum, made the call in a statement by Special Advisor at Media Relations Fidelis Soriwe in Abuja. He said the decision on who should be the next chairman of the forum should be guided by the time-tested principle of rotation between the North and South. The governor said the next chairman of the NGF should come from the south at the end of the tenure of Governor Abdulaziz Yari of Zamfara State. Governor Seraki Dixon made the call as members of the NGF met in Abuja later. As members of the NGF meet Abuja later today to elect a new chairman. And President Muhammadu Buhari's aide on social media, Loretta Onochie, risks being dragged to court for refusing to apologize to former Vice President Atiku Abubakar for alleged defamation of character. Atiku had demanded for a public apology and 500 million naira compensation from Onochie for allegedly abusing his personality with a post on social media. Chief Mike Ozekume, who is the lawyer to Atiku Abubakar, told newsmen that the 48 hours given to Onochie to settle the matter out of court had lapsed. And Ozekume further stated that instead of paying the 500 million naira and writing an apology as demanded by Atiku, the president's aide went ahead to insult the former vice president again on social media. The senior advocate of Nigeria said the former vice president will sue Loretta Onochie for 2 billion naira for alleged defamation. And the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board says it has concluded arrangements for the presentation of awards to 5 tertiary institutions at its maiden edition of the 2018 National Tertiary Arbitration Performance Merit Award. Head of Media and Information at JAM, Fabian Benjamin, who made the disclosure to newsmen in Lagos, said the Vice President, Professor Yemi Oshibajo, will be doing the presentation on Thursday in Abuja, the nation's capital. According to the board's spokesman, the award is in recognition of the institution's compliance to admission guidelines. And on the foreign scene, South Africa's government has turned down a request from the U.S. to extradite Mozambique's former finance minister Manuel Chang to stand trial on corruption charges. Instead, Chang would be extradited to Mozambique, where he is wanted on similar charges. South Africa's Justice Minister Michael Masutha, in a statement, said the interest of justice will be best served by acceding to the request by the Republic of Mozambique. Chang was arrested in South Africa in December at the request of the U.S. for his alleged involvement in $2 billion of borrowing that U.S. authorities alleged was fraudulent. Mozambique asked for his extradition soon after the U.S. submitted its request. And that's it on the news update for the hour. Thank you for your time. Stay tuned.
This is Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt, voice of the people. Port Harcourt, are you ready? Today 95.1 FM, the voice of the people.
There is never a dull moment of this dial. But let's get on now to what is happening here in Nigeria.
In the southwest, we have 136, south-south 131, southeast 30. I'm not talking about the ones that died months ago. And Mr. President is busy traveling.
The foundation in this democratic era we're experiencing today, honestly, believe me, the person soiled it, is Obasanjo. At the time he was tearing his party card, I was very ashamed. He didn't notice that he was tearing himself.
How long will you keep on complaining?
We keep you informed, thrilled, and inspired.
select. I like every kind of woman. But man, light skin does it for me. No, I'm not racist. That's what I'm saying. I could take anybody. You know what I'm saying?
We are your premium talk, news and sports radio. Today 95.1 FM. Don't touch that dial.
All right. We've got to go. It's 11:31 today.
Wow, baby, I love what I'm saying. Let's go have some fun. Me and you together.
You have protection?
No, I don't have protection.
Have you checked the HIV status?
Come on, I don't womanize. I'm a clean guy.
Today, HIV and AIDS is a major global health emergency affecting all regions of the world, causing millions of deaths and sufferings. It is the leading infectious cause of adult death in the world, and about 19 million out of the 35 million people living with HIV globally do not know their HIV status. This has led to delayed treatments, spread of the virus, wrong decisions about their health, and ultimately death. You cannot protect yourself or the health of others if you don't know what to look out for. Be informed about your health and your future. Be responsible about your sex life. Get tested and know your status today. This message is brought to you by Today95.1 FM, the voice of the people.
Yesterday, like every other day, I had it all, but now it's all gone.
You're welcome to the program. Let's talk. Flood has become a major issue in our society. Was there no proper drainage done for this flood? For this flood to be done? And it got me thinking.
You see how difficult it is for them. Not all hosts know about the game. Hello and welcome to your number one news and talk radio station, Today 95.1 FM. We've got loads of news and gossip for you. But first off, let's go on a commercial break.
Radio has never been this good. Today,
glad you know now.
Corruption is a dishonest action that destroys people's trust. Corruption takes many forms and can be interpreted by many people in many ways. It is hard to enter into any sector in Nigeria without observing one corrupt practice or the other. The faces of corruption ranges from political, universities and college, bank sector, the civil service, even the religious bodies. In Nigeria, factors like greed, poor youth empowerment, poverty, unemployment, etc. are said to be responsible for corruption. However, no reason is good enough to be corrupt, because corruption is capable of crippling our economy, raise poverty level, bring about national crisis, as well as poor national development. Stop the embezzlement and misappropriation of public or government funds, bribery, malpractice, man no man, and treat all citizens equally today. A corrupt-free nation is possible. This message is powered by your premium talk radio, Today 95.1 FM, the voice of the people.
Hey, you want to speed drive? Come on, go to the racetrack. You want to smoke? Not on the steering wheel. You want to drink alcohol? Don't do it on wheels. Go to a bar. And don't drive afterwards. Seatbelts are not for fancy. They're there to save your life. Know your traffic rules and obey them, because they are for your own good. Drive with care, because life is dear.
Here at Today, we bring you what you need to hear.
But this is what they're going after. They're not going to let me learn.
It has to be applicable to all situations.
No, it cannot be, because when the evidence.
Some people are not sure of 1 meal a day in a society with such huge potentials. If a criminal passes that place, whichever means he used in passing, and you turn around to blame the citizen, for instance, people will ask you, were you not there? Malaria kills Nigerians. Malaria.
News.
This is the World News. I am Annie Abdul Salam. In the headlines, Federal Executive
Sports
and entertainment. My name is Chubogu Najib. Straight up to football on the show.
This is Today. Every day, 24/7, 365. We are your official all-year radio station.
Stands, greet.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. You're welcome to Jagbajantis High School. My name is Sound Sultan, your new mathematics teacher. By the way, do you understand Pidgin English?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now what we go use henceforth? Okay, carry your pen. Carry your paper. Fem for my class. People of this world, them plenty. Sins of this people, many. So many. Many times plenty, multiplier. Many times plenty, multiplier. Multiply the answer you get now waiting, they make poor man they cry. The answer you get now waiting, they make rich man they mess and leaders they lie. The answer you get now waiting, they make young boys and girls join party gang. Answer you get now waiting, they make innocent man rot inside the jail. Get it, and then agree to grant and bail. Get it, oh. Everybody, oh yeah, join Jagbajantis, make we solve mathematics. We did about our continent, so you both say about mass, we go use take solve mathematics. So follow Jagbajantis. So ya carry by be for brotherhood.
Love your neighbor as yourself,
oh, for objectivity.
Be objective, gentlemen.
D for democracy.
No matter how bad it is, never military.
Now M for modification
of our behavior, let's down to the same behavior.
A, accountability.
If you've been a chop money, I beg you take them easy.
S for solidarity.
Not every time divided, oh my shell.
We enter new millennium. Nigerians like 120 million. One population of 6 billion.
6 billion.
Divide that one by 120 million altogether. Oh yeah.
Altogether.
The answer you get now waiting, they make people they jar. Come on for Niger. Answer you get now waiting.
It all begins with breaking news.
Now make no mistake, this is a difficult mission, and it will remain difficult for some time.
Then it keeps trending. Events, issues, personalities, all struggling to gain attention. But in the race for deadlines, the intrigues, power play, undercurrents are often missed or underreported.
Insecurity here is basically a product of poverty.
But not anymore. As the platform on radio steps in to fill the missing links on events, issues, and personalities in the news.
We are not afraid of anybody.
Yeah! The platform on radio serves all the hottest topics and trending issues. Only on Today 95.1 FM. 95.1 FM. Port Harcourt. Every weekday at 4 p.m. Get on the platform on radio and be served.
Our prayers are
is very dangerous because it has a very degenerative effect on the liver and the kidney and some other vital organs in the body, and this could be cancerous too. And that's why we have rising cases of cancer and other health conditions. The government to try as much as possible to employ more staff, especially in the Ministry of Agri, because meat inspection is under the Ministry of Agri. Right now, we have only 3 veterinary doctors who work with the Ministry of Agri. So that number of vets cannot do more because we have a lot of slaughter slabs in the state. Most of them are not even registered. So members of the public should be very vigilant. You try as much as possible to get your meat at the right place.
Although you heard the chairman of veterinary doctors in Rivers State, it's at 20 minutes past 4 o'clock, and I'd love to welcome you to another edition of the platform on radio on your premium talk station, Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. I am Ifeimi Andrew, and I will be giving you insight into some of the news reports making the rounds. The platform on radio is a program where we come to dissect trending issues with correspondent reports. Our correspondents are out there and they are sourcing reports from the field. On this program, we'll take their reports and also have them give us more details, just so you get a chance to hear what is not entirely in the news. On the menu for today, Labour Party withdraws petition from Governorship Election Tribunal in Rivers State. Court fixes date for hearing a fundamental rights suit of wife of Dr. Ferek Berekbe, killed during the just concluded election in Rivers State. And there are fears that some individuals sell meats preserved with formalin. All right, we'll look at all of those in details. But first, we start up with the Election Petition Tribunal in Rivers State. They are sitting in Port Harcourt, the capital of the state, and now they have dismissed the petition of the Labour Party and its candidate, Isaac Nwanwu, against the victory of Governor Nyesom Wike. The lead judge of the tribunal, Justice G.K. Kaigama, granted the order following an application by counsel to the Labour Party, Uche Olewune, who applied for the withdrawal of the petition, and that the petition of one will be struck out. Our correspondent reports that all the lawyers in the matter did not oppose the application of the Labour Party to withdraw from the tribunal. Counsel to the Labour Party, Uche Olewune, in an interview with newsmen, spoke on the decision of his clients to withdraw their petition.
My clients being the candidate of Labour Party, Chief Isaac Nwanwu, and the party itself, having come to terms that there is need for them to have a synergy with the governor, they decided in their wisdom that at this point they want to let the petition go. And that's strictly what we have come to do this morning. And the court, in its wisdom, has graciously granted that. And the petition has been struck out. The election petition is sui generis. Unlike ordinary civil matters that if a matter is struck out, maybe you can come back and release. In election petition matter, once a matter is struck out or dismissed as the case, once it's struck out, that's the end of the matter. So we're not coming back here. That's it's a goodbye to this particular tribunal.
Also, the three-man election petition tribunal has also dismissed the petition of the PPP against the People's Democratic Party and its candidate, Governor Nyesom Wike, and the Independent National Electoral Commission. The petition of the PPP was dismissed following an application for withdrawal by the party. Counsel to PPP, Chibuzo Ezike, who is also the national legal advisor of the party, told newsmen outside the court that his party, after due consultation, decided to withdraw the petition for the interest of Rivers State. Ezike also dismissed insinuations that the withdrawal was linked to monetary inducements.
The decision of the National Executive Committee of the party, after due consultation and taking judicial notice of what happened in the last election in Rivers State, and in the interest of the public and Nigerians and the people of Rivers State, the party decided to take other routes available to them. Even people were in court, you had the affidavit of affidavit against illegal withdrawal. It's not. It's just for the interest of the River State people and Nigeria at large.
Also speaking, counsel to INEC Abdul Hakim Mustafa, who is a senior advocate of Nigeria, spoke on why he opted for the dismissal of the matter instead of striking out as sought by the Labour Party as stated in the Electoral Act.
The petitioners, in their wisdom, decided to withdraw the petition. But before they withdrew, the third respondent, that is INEC, filed a notice of plenary objection that the petition be dismissed, that it lacks merit and is not in compliance with the Electoral Act of 2010 as amended. Based on that, they apparently they came up and decided to withdraw, and we filed relevant affidavit to show that there's no collusion, and more importantly, we urge the court to dismiss the petition, not to strike it out. There's a difference. The reason why we ask for dismissal is because we have joined issues. We have filed a plenary objection and we have filed a reply to their petition. And the court agreed with us that the proper order to make is to dismiss the petition, and the court accordingly dismissed the petition.
Meanwhile, the Elections Petition Tribunal sitting in Port Harcourt will tomorrow hear a motion in the petition filed by the Africa Action Congress and its candidate Biopama Boawara against INEC, the PDP, and its candidate Governor Nyesom Wike.
Motion ex parte, and in the course of events, the second petitioner filed a notice of change of counsel. To that effect, the motion ex parte would not go on, and it has been adjourned. Mr. H. A. Bello.
In exercise of their right to counsel of their choice, enshrined in Section 36 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and garnished by the provisions of extant rules of the Federal High Court and Election Petition Tribunal, AAC decided to choose me and my colleagues as their counsel to appear for them in place of highly respected senior advocate of Nigeria, Taiwo E. Taiwo. So we have a situation therefore where we have Taiwo E. Taiwo appearing for the first petitioner, Awara, and my humble self and my colleagues appearing for AAC.
So, we would like to know how this is in the best interest of Rivers people. Do you agree with the steps taken by these political parties at the moment? That's one. And also, would like to hear your thoughts. Remember one time we talked about the sacrifice of what many would see as justice at the tribunal at the feet of development for the state. Could that be the reason why maybe these parties are withdrawing their petitions? Or some also say it could be a sign of showing acceptance for the olive branch that was extended by the governor of the state. Well, what do you make of this new development? Meanwhile, wife of late Ferry Beregbe, Ronke Beregbe, has filed a fundamental human rights action against the Nigeria police and former commander of anti-robbery squad in Rivers State, Akin Fakorede, before State High Court sitting in Port Harcourt. Ronke Beregbe is asking the court to make some declarations, award some compensations, and ensure justice against those who allegedly murdered her husband during the just concluded governorship and State House of Assembly elections in the state. Correspondent Uchendu Ejewa reports that Justice Enebile ordered that notice of service served on the two defendants. Speaking to newsmen outside the court, counsel to the plaintiff Lizina Amegwa expressed concerns over the absence of the defendants in court, but expressed hope that justice will be done in the matter.
Our prayers are laid out in our application, and most importantly, the court will look at it and also do justice to our prayers accordingly. The deceased has a right to life as it is enshrined under Chapter 4 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, specifically Section 33 of the Nigerian Constitution gives him that right to his fundamental right, which can fundamental right to life. Pray in the court for claims, damages, because it cannot go that way. There must be positions, there must be actions that will be taken that would forestall this kind of injustice, this kind of
A
extrajudicial killings in our society.
hearing was fixed for 14th of June. Now, can justice be served? That would be the ultimate question here. Will justice be served? We had the committee that was put up, panel to look into this and make investigations. They have invited most of the witnesses and asked their questions. And, well, the question we now would ask ourselves is what recommendations would they make, and will justice be served with regards to this matter? And going by what the former SARS commander, ACP Akin Fakorede, also said that Dr. Ferry was a cultist, and he also said that it was just the victim of his own plot. That was another word that was used by the SARS commander, former SARS commander. How would the court decide on this particular issue? That's another matter that's on the ground. We'll speak with our correspondent, Uchendu Ejiowo, to give us details on that shortly. But before we do that, let's also put this story in the mix. Remember that you can send your messages to 0701 933 9962. 0701 933 9962. That's the SMS portal. You can send your messages there. Meanwhile, as we wait on your messages, I would like you to know that the National Butchers Union of Nigeria are warning the general public to be careful on the kind of meat they purchase in the market, eateries, and from meat selling outlets in Rivers State. The reason is simple. The chairman of the union, Haji Musa Ahmed, gave the advice while he was in an interview with Frida Alerechi. Ahmed dissociated its members from the scale of chemically preserved meat, stressed that whatever illness that comes in the state as a result of meat consumption is not from any of their slaughters.
The meat that is containing that chemical, the chemical is formalin, which they use in mortuary, washing all these dead bodies. So those who are using that is those butchers that bring meat. You see all these big companies where they supply meat to auction, they do come to our slaughter and other slaughters to buy meat to feed all these fast food and the rest of them. But now they are not coming. Why? Because they do get any kind of meat very cheap. Our fear, if there is any disease, an epidemic, they say, is butchers, while our hand is clean. If you see meat is very, very cheap, fly no the near them, avoid that meat. And make sure there are certain butchers who have been there for years. Do business with them.
On his part, Rivers State Chairman, Nigerian Veterinary Medical Association, Fidel Ezem, condemned the use of formalin chemical used for meat preservation, adding that such chemicals are cancerous, capable of damaging the liver, lungs, and other vital parts of the body.
It's very dangerous because it has a very degenerative effect on the liver and the kidney and some other vital organs in the body. And this could be cancerous too, and that's why we have rising cases of cancer and other health conditions. The government to try as much as possible to employ more staff, especially in the Ministry of Agri, because meat inspection is under the Ministry of Agri. Right now we have only 3 veterinary doctors who work with the Ministry of Agri, so that's number of vets cannot do more because we have a lot of slaughter slabs in the state. Most of them are not even registered. So members of the public should be very vigilant. You try as much as possible to get your meat at the right place.
Reports has it that a few days ago, the Ministry of Agriculture and Rivers State set up a committee to rid the markets of meat preserved with formalin, which is a chemical used by morticians to preserve dead bodies. So, with all these efforts by the Rivers State government and stakeholders, who should be held responsible if people die or get sick as a result of this contaminated meat? And to think about the fact that people would do this sort of thing, like how would you use such a chemical at the detriment of the health of other people because of money? Oh, it goes to question a lot that has really gone bad within our system. What more should be done beyond setting up the committee? That's another question that we need to answer. All right, so we'll open our phone lines and get your thoughts. We'll also try to get in touch with our guest, Uchendu Ojowo, to give us details, and Frida Alerichi is a progress on the show. But first, let's hear from Uchendu Ojowo. Meanwhile, send your SMS to 0701-933-9962. We have our correspondent Uchendu with us here on the phone. Uchendu, you're welcome. Good evening.
Thank you, Andrew. Good evening.
All right, so Uchendu, talk to me now. We hear that most of the political parties are withdrawing their suits from their petition from the tribunal for the election.
Andrew, should we say most? Because we have only had political parties, the Labour Party and the People's Progressive Party, who have just declared their interest to withdraw their matter today, which they have also did. Their reason is simple. They want to align with the call by Governor Wike, the Olive Branch, political party, that for the interest of the party. According to the PPP, they said their national body consulted and they reached a decision just to withdraw the party for the interest of the Rivers people. That's the way the legal advisor, who is also their counsel, described it to us. Just for the interest of Rivers people, where they know how interest they are pointing at. Also, the Labour Party, the council, we did not say the government candidate himself, but the council is representing him. Also informed us of what he told him as his lawyer, that they are also doing that for the interest of Rivers people.
Okay.
Just like the governor have called that they want people that will join hands with him to move the River State forward.
All right.
So they want to give it the fire. That's why they have started to withdraw their matter. I'm just quoting them now.
Okay.
Other parties, other matter that came up today in court, you can see AAC there. They also had their matter mentioned.
So, are we going to see the same thing? Because AAC, their case should come up tomorrow. Are we expecting to see the same step taken by the AAC and their candidate?
Andrew, we tried to ask this question to the lawyer representing the AAC. They said not at all. If that would have happened, I think they have every opportunity to do it today. But instead, they're even digging deep in their matter. That's why they are trying to separate the lawyer to represent the candidate from the lawyer to represent the party itself, having two lawyers now.
Okay.
So that the matter will officially move forward from tomorrow. If their motion is granted,
okay.
That means they are having a very strong lawyer. One is a senior advocate of Nigeria, and the other one is a senior lawyer here in Nigeria. How do they say they might be withdrawing tomorrow? Other matters also that we have mentioned, we are joined to different days.
All right,
no
Uchendu.
indication of withdrawal.
Thank you very much for the details, Uchendu. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew.
All right, let's go to our phone lines now and hear what your contributions are on the show. Hello, good evening.
Andrew.
Lawson.
Honestly, I don't know. How will somebody use famolin to preserve meat? Nigerians, are you sure that everything is all right with us? Because this is chemical used, you understand, in a lab and preserving specimens and other things, and then use it to preserve meat that you want to sell to people. I have been saying it. People are calling leaders. His followership is also bad. People are arguing. The other day I was arguing with him. He has a way of always saying, our leaders. Look at it. How can you? Is it that they want to kill people? Nigeria is a country where people don't care so long as they make money. Why? How were we created, Andrew? That is a issue. Anything chemical cannot be ingested. anything chemical, and then they know that. They know all of that, and they still use it just to do what? To make money. And you see, the followership is as bad as the leadership. I'm telling you, it's unfortunate. I'm shocked to hear things like this. And thank God, some of the petitioners are withdrawing their cases against the River State governor. It's good because sometimes when you don't have a reason, there is no need for you to go to court. I am also praying that Atiku should take a cue from those people that are withdrawing because he has no case as far as I'm concerned. He's just disturbing the government of the day, make one or two noise, and keep his followers together probably until 2023. He himself knows that he has no case. That is why you see they jump from one matter to another because no case, Andrew.
All right.
He should
Thank you.
withdraw it. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your contribution on the show. Hello, good evening. Today 95.1 FM. Good evening.
Yeah, this is Jude from Oribo.
Go ahead, Jude.
Yes, you see, talking about this, what is happening with meat, washing meat, nama with is it the chemical you are using in the mortuary? You see, are you seeing what is happening? These are ways of reducing the population of the southern Nigeria. Are you seeing it? Yeah, even the killings that are going on in River State, the security men that we are sent to River State, we are sent to protect oil facilities and not to protect human beings. Look at they have brought another idea of chemical, using chemical to terminate people's lives. Hello, can you hear me?
Go ahead.
That is what is happening. The Northerners, that is why
no particular section of the country was stated to be responsible.
Obasanjo has said it that it's going to be Fulanization and Islamization. That is what is taking place. They are looking for ways of reducing the population of the Christians in this country so that they will dominate. Look at what they are doing. Now, people are going to eat meat infected before you know people will develop cancer and die. Are you seeing what you are saying?
All right. Thank you for your opinion, your thoughts. Hello to the 95.1 FM.
Good evening, Mr. Andrew.
Good evening to you.
Yeah, better phone there.
Go on.
I want to react on the Labour Party and some other party withdraw from invited Godship Pigeon Tribunal. See, I have said it time with that number. This is a Labour Party, as it won. This party, I said in this radio station, they are the people, the political party that were registered, sponsored by governors of Wiki. I said it before this time. Before the election, I said it. You see, they are not going anywhere. The only person who has matter in court is Awara. So what are they talking about? They should withdraw and see how far Awara will go. Thank you, God bless Nigeria.
All right, thank you very much. Hello. Good evening.
Hello, Andrew.
Yes, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. The question is...
ID?
You see, the question...
Hello. Go ahead.
Yeah, who is responsible? Is it the followers that are supposed to monitor these persons? No. There are persons saddled with the responsibility of monitoring every activity. So if persons are using chemicals that they are not supposed to use, who is to put them in order? Who is to caution them? Who is to tackle that menace? It's still the leadership. The problem is our government is not doing what they are supposed to do. In fact, mostly Nigerians, somehow we are this kind of people who want to get it at all means, at all costs. So the persons that are saddled with the responsibility, is it that you just go to your office and collect money without doing your work? They are supposed to punish these persons. And the chairman saying that it's not his people. So who are these persons? If you know it's not your people, mention their name so that the persons that are saddled with the responsibilities will go after them, arrest them and punish them. For example, for other persons to take example. So it's not about the followership because If the leaders are not sitting up, definitely, why is it? Why should we follow rules and regulations? Everybody will want to do what he feel like doing. But if you enforce the law, if you enforce the rules, the people will sit up. And finally, the commander saying Berebe was a cultist and all. You can see the kind of society we are. Berebe was a cultist since he was not declared wanted. Police has not invited him. Today he's dead. He cannot speak himself. We are hearing he's a cultist and he's a victim of his own actions. I pray God help his family and justice be done. Thank you very much.
Hello, Today 95.1 FM. Good evening.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, promise.
Go ahead.
Yeah. For people using formalin to preserve meat, right? Wow. How can people think? I heard some callers blaming government. What is government? Government tell you that formalin is not good. Government will tell you don't throw the tiger, we throw, you blame government. Formalin, human being. If people want to do something, they should think first. You want to kill someone, I want government to come and correct you. What is government coming to do? Government will tell you that formalin is not good. Government will tell you that this thing you are doing is not right. Who should say the truth for the world for the first time? It's not good now. Killing your own fellow human being. Because that person will also patronizing you, giving you money. You still want to kill him. Man.
Okay. Well, angry caller that one is. You can send your messages to 0701-933-9962. That's the SMS portal. If you want to send a text message. Hello, Today 95.1 FM.
Yeah,
Good evening.
Mr. Zion.
Good evening.
I'm calling from Port Harcourt. The government is to be blamed. Man is deviant by nature. That is what law interprets. So if you felt there's an issue on ground and a body has been saddled with a responsibility, why don't the government energize that system to be proactive? We have only 3 doctors, 3 vet doctors in the Ministry of Agriculture. Laughable. That alone has shown that even we have eaten a lot of chemicals, poisonous ones for that matter, but God has preserved us. Even the stock fish most of us depend on, do we know the chemical they use in preserving it? If you have only 3 vet doctors, then why don't you mark government approved slaughters, government approved butcheries, whereby you know that this is a government approved where you can go and get your meat and its agents. That you are telling us, the public, we should be observant. How can we be observant? Do we know the chemicals? Can we even identify them? Do we have access to them as ordinary people? When the government has failed, crime is imminent. But I want to beg our people to save us better. Let's go back to the ways of our fathers. We know the kind of fish we eat, the kind of meat we eat, how we preserve them even in our local ways. Why don't we try it? Since this other way is now causing us problems, causing us death and frustration, I believe that the Ministry of Agriculture is not existing. I believe that maybe they are not being paid their salaries. I believe people who are serving on that Mr. Commissioner of Agriculture, they're just embezzling money, or the Minister of Agriculture is just embezzling money, because I believe in every fiscal year there is a budget stipulated to run the affairs of that ministry. So how come we are having just 3 vet doctors who are more critical when it comes to consumption of meat and fish in this environment or in Nigeria at large? This is the problem of the kind of education we have. Our educational system has already subjected us to fail.
have already subjected us to be jobless. That is a kind of educational system. That's why even when as a vet doctor upon graduation, there is no job. Look at a lot of microbiologists roaming in the street looking for jobs. Why don't you incorporate them into the system and give them a department for operations? Ah, my goodness.
Thank you.
We the people will pay for it dearly because we voted this kind of people to handle our affairs at our machineries to run our policies. So this is a repercussion of our foolishness. Mr. Zion from Port Harcourt.
Thank you, Zion, for your contribution on the show. We'll go to our SMS portal now and take a few of your text messages, and we'll come back and take more calls on the show. 0701-933-9962 is the SMS portal. Good day, Ayaso Oti from Eli Brother Emoha. The governor, Wiki, have seen that people is attacking left, right, and center, is ready to work with him to move the state forward. He should also reconcile with the security agencies in Rivers State and stop all sort of accusations and allegations. Good afternoon, Andrew. It is only God that gives the woman whose husband was slain by SARS good judgment. The Nigerian police and federal government will cover evil deeds, but God will expose them when they retire from service. My advice to the woman is to let God fight battle for her because nothing will come out of the case. Please tell her not to cry again. It's well with her soul. God bless Nigeria. Kenneth Davis and Stewart from Opopo Town. I would when I see her. Essen says, on issue of Labour Party and its candidate withdrawing from the tribunal is a welcome development. AAC should follow suit. Ezewale from Mile 4. Hello, good evening.
Ilando, good evening.
Good evening to you.
My name is Suzy. I'm calling from Erema community.
Okay, go ahead.
The issue of this using this very chemical to preserve meat. I want to ask, has anybody been arrested, or is just a publication made on the paper? Or is just some group of people whose markets they perceive has not been making much profits, and then see those who are making more profits, and then you want to malign them? Because if they say the chemical is actually something that will cause cancer, a lot of things that causes cancer, and the chemical is also a chemical that is possible to a kind of terminate any virus or bacteria from a source, maybe meat or human body. So, and then that the chemical is actually used to preserve dead bodies. So I don't know where they are coming from, because when I heard the chairman, listen to what the chairman was saying, I think that chairman has a responsibility. If he has that kind of information, or maybe he is the one that has apprehended the people, how come those who have not been arrested? And then those who are arrested, then they should be made to also test the meat to see how it tastes. So, but I'm looking at it from the angle that all these things for me is just an assumption and allegation. Maybe it does not exist as far as I'm concerned. Because we've been eating meat and we see that meats are being preserved. So at the end of the day, somebody is coming to tell me that if a fly does not fetch in a meat, we should not eat it. So flying now is something that we're giving credit to fetching something that somebody will eat just because of the fact they want to prove a point.
No, I think he has a point. If you listen carefully, flies perching on a meat, if you go to a market, doesn't mean the meat is infested with some kind of disease or anything. The point is, because the meat is fresh, naturally it would attract flies. But if you apply chemicals to the meat, all right, it's just like adding sniper or rubbing. It chases away rodents and any other thing around. Nothing wants to come close to that particular thing that you apply the chemical on. So it's only a pointer to tell you that if you see a meat like that, it means that the meat is not safe for consumption. That's what he was trying to say.
What aspect of the science has proved that before this time around, or it's just an assumption?
It's not an assumption. If you put that on a corpse, do you see flies go to the corpse?
Andrew, if I get to the market and I want to buy a meat, I wouldn't be standing there for a long time to know whether, because
you would see. Then I think you should, before you buy anything, of course, in the market. In fact, it's even said before you buy that you observe what you're buying. Fruits, meat, fish, whatever you're buying, you observe it. You don't just buy.
Andrew, there is no way you put a meat in a place. Maybe you go to Chuba market or Mokoro market and I will fly. But to that extent, he has also said that. I will agree with you to what I've just said. But for me, I am looking at it that maybe flying now fetching on the meat is one thing that will guarantee us human beings to buy the meat. So let's take it from the man that has just spoken. But for me, I want to say that this thing for me is just a way of making some people not to sell their market.
All right. Hello? What's that call? The lines are still very open, though. I think we misunderstand the point he's coming from. The man didn't say that they apprehended a set of people. He is a chairman of their association. And if he has information that there are people that smuggle meat to come and sell, and this meat information is that these meats are being covered with these certain chemicals, you can't say it's trying to spoil the marketability of the meat of another person because it didn't mention names of places you should go and buy or persons you should buy from. It didn't do any of that. So it's difficult to say that, oh, you're doing it because you want yours to sell. He didn't say buy from me alone or buy from this person alone. He even said when you go to buy your meat in wherever you're buying it, look out for those people that you know you have been seeing there often doing business. You don't know the new person you are going to buy from, how the meat came to where it is. So I don't think that's trying to slander the business of any other person so yours can prevail. Hello, Today 95.1 FM.
Andrew.
Gift, you're welcome. Good evening.
Thanks, brother. Good evening.
Go ahead.
Yeah, concerning this, I don't even know where to start from. The chemical stuff, I don't even know where to start from. If at all such a thing is ongoing, my brother, we are in danger. And the meat is not only a problem here, even beans. I got information from one of the people that they are using a sniper to even preserve beans also. So I don't understand Nigeria, the way we are behaving. How much are you thinking to get or to make out of that business? That you don't even care about the life of others. It's just for you to make money. My brother, I don't get it. Please, if at all such a thing is going on, government should work with that very chairman of that association to fish out these guys. And they should not even waste time. The 3 days he's talking of to me is even too long. Just get to work now to save the lives of Nigerians that are in River State. Please, they should just do something fast. Concerning the AAC, somebody was talking, the lawyer that want to change this other person, that voice was the person that was representing APC. That voice I heard. You did not mention the name of the lawyer, but I know that voice. So you can see what is going on in River State. AAC will not withdraw, just like what your reporter gave us earlier. Yes, they will continue, but I don't see anything that will come out. It is better you even go and negotiate whatever. Just like Lagos, you saw Agbaje immediately. This is normal arrangement. Go and work with the sitting governor. No way. Even Amechi, 100 times, go ahead and stand with Wike. He will lose over and over, talk less of Awara. Thank you. Take care.
Well, very interesting. I think we have enough time to take one more call and then we wrap it up on the show. Thank you. Good evening. Go ahead. You have less than a minute.
Now, you see that most of the food that come from that side, including beans, I ate one bean and nearly died. They put some chemicals. Observe suya. Most of them that say suya don't eat suya. There was one in my family yard. He eat chicken. He don't eat the suya. Apart from that chemical, all other things they do to that number, only God knows. Those who are defending them, maybe they are selling meat. And I also see this fluoridation and Islamization in it in any way to reduce the number of people from here. But God won't allow that. Thank you. Coming for power, let them allow River State to have peace. everyone should key in what these people have done today. The party politics we play here, politics of our ceremony, is not taking us anywhere. Who they can fit? Let them read it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And that's how we wrap it up on the platform for today. It's been a production of our news department put together by Victor Ezema. We'll do it again same time tomorrow. My name remains Ifeemi Andrew. Bye-bye for now.
Today's news. Radio has never been this good. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
This is Today 95.1 FM.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM. Every day, every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today, 95.1 FM.
All right, good evening. You're welcome to Today 95.1 FM. This is Bits and Pieces on your premium talk station. My name is Ifeemi Andrew, and we begin today's report from Jigawa State, which says that the police have arrested a 30-year-old man for allegedly slitting his friend's throat. Reports said that Saleh Shanonu had pleaded with his 30-year-old friend Yakubu Amadu to follow him to his in-laws' house and plead with his wife to reconcile with him. Amadu is said to have used his motorcycle to convey his friend Shanonu to his in-laws' house, but on getting to a bush along the way, Shanonu used the knife to slit the friend's throat in an attempt to snatch his motorcycle. The victim, who escaped death by the whisker, is said to be battling to stay alive at a hospital with grievous hurt on his throat. Shanonu reportedly took his friend's motorcycle, thinking that the victim had died. And in Osun State, a 38-year-old man identified as Samson Awotidoye is reported to have appeared before a magistrate's court alongside his 35-year-old girlfriend, identified as Tony Ademola, for allegedly assaulting his wife. Following the arraignment, the prosecuting officer, Inspector Mande Ojezele, told the court that the defendant carried out the act at Ajebamidele in Ile-Ife area of the state. Charged on the 3 counts of conspiracy, illegal marriage, and assault, Samson was said to have illegally married one Tony Ademola while his wife was still alive. Reports said Samson, with the aid of his concubine, assaulted his wife over an issue yet to be ascertained. And now in Lagos, a state high court has sentenced the Cameroonian house help to death by hanging for killing her employer. Reports said that Lujo Koyemen Joel was convicted by Justice Adebayo Akintoye, who ordered that she be hanged to death. The prosecution had in the charge told the court that Joel murdered her boss at her Parkview estate in Ikoyi area of the state. It was revealed that Joel had just been employed 2 months prior to the murder of his boss, who out of empathy employed her on recommendation of an identified pastor. The maid was said to have carried out the act out of greed after her boss refused to oblige a 2-week salary advance she had requested on the day of the incident. And still in Lagos, a 45-year-old gardener identified as Philip Onoznakun is reported to have been remanded in prison custody for allegedly defiling a 13-year-old girl. Following his arraignment, Magistrate Kubenje, who refused to take his plea, ordered that he was kept behind bars pending legal advice from the State Director of Public Prosecutions. Ononaku, who is facing a count charge of unlawful sexual intercourse with a minor, was said to have been covering his act by giving the victim money. The police prosecutor, Inspector Lucky Ihie, told the court that the defendant had been having sexual intercourse with the victim under a flower at a garden he worked and gave the girl 200 or 100 naira each time they met. The incident was made known by the victim's grandmother, who noticed a change in her movement, and upon inquiry, the girl revealed how Onona Kun had been having sexual intercourse with her. And on the foreign scene, a Zimbabwean man is reported to have committed suicide after spending the weekend away from home. Reports said 39-year-old Kelvin Mukungwa spent the weekend away from his home and committed suicide in his return after his wife failed to inquire about his whereabouts over the weekend. The unidentified woman, who is said to have discovered the lifeless body of her husband hanging from the ceiling the next morning after she had taken their children to school, said his friends revealed that Kelvin was already troubled because he had some unresolved issues at home. And with that, we conclude this edition of Bits and Pieces, put together by Sasongo Stella of the News Department. Until tomorrow, have a lovely evening. My name is Ifeemi Andrew.
Port Harcourt, are you ready? Today, 95.1 FM, the voice of the people.
There is never a dull moment of this dial.
But let's get on now to what is happening here in Nigeria.
In the southwest, we have 136, south 131, southeast 30. I'm not talking about the ones that died months ago. And Mr. President is busy. traveling. The foundation in this democratic era we're experiencing today, honestly, believe me, the person saw it is Obasanjo. At the time he was tearing his party card, I was very ashamed. He didn't notice that he was tearing himself.
How long will you keep on complaining?
We keep you informed, thrilled, and inspired.
I need to select. I like every kind of woman. But man, light skin does it for me. No, I'm not racist. That's what I'm saying. I could take anybody. You know what I'm saying?
We are your premium talk, news, and sports radio. Today, 95.1 FM. Don't touch that dial.
All right. We've got to go. It's 11:31.
This is today. Today's news, today's entertainment, today's sports, today's issues. Today on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. Port Harcourt, are you ready? Today 95.1 FM, the voice of the people.
Hey! Oh yeah, Oga Madam.
Marry your radio.
Time now reach for waiting they happen on top Today 95.1 FM. What God has joined together, let no finger put us on now.
Sai, Dawo. Eyene kammi.
Oda Oma.
Avare, Irioko. Akauke nang. Where you go?
Abeg.
Do. A diversion. Make we enter Today FM 95.1. And now waiting they happen. Nang they happen for Parakard. Mba, cause no be.
Countryman, countrywoman, you don't hear say with only taking money 3,000 naira. 3,000 naira. Your faith comes sit down with Pastor Talking Drum every Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays to talk about your handwork. And but if you did radio, make a call this number 080-3466-3771. Make a call them again in case your hand is a summer. 080-3466-3771. Hallelujah. Call sit down with the Pastor Talking Drum. I'm going to talk about your handwork. On top today, 95.1 FM, the voice of the people. Show me your handwork here. Plenty things.
Fine lady. Nobody will no fit to make a move.
Oh, yeah.
Oga Madam.
Everybody join Pastor Talking Drum. The Lord of the mic. Make we thank Baba God together. On top, testimony time for your Bonga Radio today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. Every Sunday morning, 6 to 8 a.m. On top, testimony time. Testimony time, overcomers time.
You have shown me so much mercy.
All right, so press play. Anywhere where you dey, just carry your hand, make it draw your ear, make you hear this correct and ogbonge information when I want to take knock you. Power this evening, inside this evening. This one, now press play. That is anywhere where you dey. You go just press play. This one, now game on. I entitled this one, press play, game on, FIFA 19. So this one, now competition game where they do every last weekend of every month. And this one, they come up on Saturday, 25th of May 2019. Now mini competition with cash prizes and now tournament. That means you go win cash prizes. You go win plenty better things. So this one then it happen on Saturday. We'll be saying that the May 2020 Saturday 25th of May 2019. 1 p.m. Now the competition go start. So 1 p.m. Gonna make it on the day. Competition go start. The registration fee now only 1,500 naira. Checking money. Registration fee 1,500. And that one you go if you want to register now. Sharply make it send your money. Enter inside this their GTB account. We'll be saying now 0169339837. Easy Feel, name be the name of the account. So for GTB, the dress code you fit wear your club jersey to come participate for this competition. And like this way they send give me here, so now Suarez then draw there for we be saying a Baka player. So if we wear any of your club jersey to come there, and the venue where this one go happen this Saturday now for the autograph. The autograph 30 Sani Abacha Road, GRA Phase 3, Port Harcourt. So the game is on. That is game on. Press play, game on. Mini competition with cash prizes where you go fit win, but you need to register with 1,500. Or if you know they clear about any of this information, Halele make you enter inside their email. Where be saying info@pressplayhub.com. 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 Or you fit just call this their this thing now. Call their phone number. Call them so that they go fit answer you. 070 17 85 8031. I go repeat the phone number again. Make you call them if you won't be part of this game competition, mini competition. We go happen this very Saturday. So call them on 070 1985 8031. So just call them on top that one, or if you follow them on Facebook, Press Play 21, or Instagram Press Play 21, Twitter also Press Play _21. So no forget now this Saturday 25th of May 2019, 1 p.m. now in the game they start for inside the autograph. The Autograph Event Center, 30 Sani Abacha Road, GRA Phase 3, Port Harcourt. Remember, anywhere where you dey now, press play. All right, so good evening. This evening time don't reach where you don't sit down, put on top today 95.1 FM, the voice of the people. And the show that's still waiting. They happen. The one where they come to you every Monday to Friday on Talk Today 95.1 FM, the voice of the people. Like I tell you, say you never see no missing it happen. Say you never hear no also missing it happen. Baba go there. Now they keep all of us quickly and manually. Moko karaba they move for this level. They live so is short well, even short pass, short sneaker debt. Na short bank an appointment where every man and every woman it go keep. Nobody's being turn. Nobody's being time, and you know if you jump and pass. Sin. Now him be the cause of the death. Jesus Christ. Now him be the only cure. Make it carry your life. Make it give Baba God there, because any life with outside Christ, it is full of crisis. I still remember my humble self. It's a Buruburu one of today, 95.1 FM. Pastor talking drum, the Lord of the mic. All right, I'm not being back. Great job, and say you're not alone here.
Oh, people of Porako, it's good to say feast the Lord. Open your Bible to the book of Today, chapter 95, verse 1 FM. My name na Foni Udeme, Afonso Sofono Bange, the Tetimak Panuko Nafia, Obango, Utom, maybe get the left name after the Utom, the Swaga baby. Put your left and you put your full stop with twice. And me couldn't, if you ain't pass 11, you know that 11, you right there, without have to do you may not be left without oh, just what Dixon sings the one comes out. What because Musutum Bansa, what goes around, tongues around, be a useless. Usefully, so that at the end will be a useless, usefully. God bless you all.
All right. All right, so we're going to move forward this evening. I don't know this keke issue where them banned and everything. As them ban them, then keke people don't obey for 2 days, I think. They obey on Monday. Then obey on Tuesday, being yesterday, come provoke on Wednesday, because
the food know they come like before now. Which area they ban them now? Because from my area they know.
They see them for some places now, but some people like the ones where they run from NTA to Mercyland and also from Mobile to Joras, that's Mboba Road too.
Yes.
Like those two places, I don't say they stop them. I don't know whether they really follow for where they stop, because them they enter streets now and all those kind of things. So I don't know why they can't stop them, but those ones this afternoon will be smart, you know.
Them face.
As in that's on how they near you like this inside the keke, then so they just drag people down. Same, all of them come back for road, the scatter road and everything. But what shock myself, police people there for Junction, the Mobile Junction and Mercyland Junction. So then they don't even come the junction. They come there inside the street, they rake.
The police?
No,
the keke driver, they for inside
street, they rake. Police there for Junction.
So they don't fit come at contact their mind.
Me, I like that wisdom when they use there. because before you know now, how you gather now, before you know at all now, one down.
Just now one down, but you know say that thing in wisdom, because they doesn't want to enter, one chant. So, you understand?
Because how you have to one now. As everybody one person go like that for granted.
But now the truth be that.
No end. So they just decide today inside street.
See keke for you, and see keke don't enter some city.
So that's what it be. So that, but I don't know, Sha. How you see this keke with the ban for some areas? Because it will really stop the crime as we talk, or will it increase the crime? Because I want the way where they think I'm not sure that thing will really help. Because people now they stranded from that kind of time.
I know now, but now that time now we say all these bad boys, they carry all these bad boys. Bad boy driver, they carry bad boys, perpetrators of evil. Just now. So at that time now we don't ban them. Now he phone good because, but only thing where they pay me now say you get some way we say they get better mind to go hustle to job. Now one person makes now don't affection the other person now.
Okay. But as a combination now, don't you know if you say now like if you banned plenty, yes, you don't ban them now. You don't ban them.
Yes.
Now, if we assume now, say, maybe if keke where they run that these two areas we mentioned now, more question say na 500.
Yes.
That's 1,000 keke.
Yes.
Now you don't render jobless from that 7 p.m. till the next morning. You know, sure say you go fit increase. And some of them they run higher purchase. Maybe say they do account for person. And this or got them now. Fit nobody. Maybe if na 3,000 they give her in a week. Maybe they never bring her down now to 1,000 based on the job we don't spoil now.
Yes.
And I also hear in the complaint say, okay, they stop them from 7 now, then they still they buy ticket every day. Ticket 200, 500 every day and all those things, depending on how many tickets they buy. So they still they buy the same amount of tickets and then they walk as they won't walk again.
To balance up.
To balance up everything. So before we do all these things, why would they take into consideration these people?
But honey, we say the people we ban them. Now we go blame now. Now the people where we say they carry this keke, this keke no be ban something. Now the people where they drive from,
Okay.
Now we go blame because now them now don't spoilish the good the good something where other people where they innocence get to use chop.
Okay.
That is what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, all right. That's one of the first matter we did for our domot, the keke people. For your area, well, if keke still they run, you fit still tell us and give us the information. If they also ban them for your area, you also let us know.
Yes.
And waiting be the effect of the ban we do not ban them for these few days. Wait if you say enough for our good, or you go help us or you no go help us. This other one, butchers, stroke bad meat. So bad meat don't there for town now. Bad meat. Don't day for town.
Bad meat don't day since now. Always say with a woman well every morning. Me no can spoil.
They say National Butchers Union of Nigeria. That's the Mbu. Mbun. Mbun. M-B-U-N. Mbun. From their name, they go listen and meat.
Now sit down.
Mbun.
Oh God! What do them safe?
National Union of National Butchers Union of Nigeria.
Yes.
That's the people that butchers. They said that they want the general public to be careful on the kind of meat they purchase in the market, eateries, and from meat selling outlets inside this River State chairman. We talk this thing of this union, Alhaji Musa Ahmed.
We're
not down with the label.
Nah, him now, but
don't butcher now.
Just you know saying get a business outside bar where he's a big man. Just a big man. He's a conglomerate.
Okay, in advise our interview correspondent Freda Ale Reggie. I say the kind is where they bring butcher meat.
Ale Reggie, they sabi jump meat way now. All this Ale Reggie.
Baba Ahmed, why the associating its members from the sale of chemically preserved meat, can stress that whatever illness that comes in the state as a result of meat consumption is not from any of their slaughters. Okay, on his part, River State Chairman, Nigerian Veterinary Medical Association, Fidel Ism, can condemn the use of formalin chemical.
Yes.
Formalin chemical, na chemical that they use
for the
body
now. Yes.
So now people don't come, they use to preserve meat. I don't even know who they think all these things come out. How person takes it down now? Think. What did they go think come outside? Say you go feel use formalin. What's they use preserve dead body
to come preserve
meat so that you no go waste. I don't even understand. You no go buy the one where you go feel say finish.
It's bad.
So now they say they use the formalin now chemical to use preserve meat. Adding that such chemicals are cancerous. Now it is very, very cancerous and it is capable of damaging cancerous. That's when you have plenty cancer. Cancerous.
That is the process of having plenty cancer.
The plural of cancer is cancerous. So then you can't get if it damage liver, lungs, and other vital parts of the body. Because if you check well, if they want embalm dead body,
they put
they come out all
these
organs. They will come out all these organs, all these other things when they mention liver, lungs, and everything. Come out all of them, all the organs, so that it no go spoil the thing and they go to warm. So now people go carry this thing, they preserve
dead body
meat
and con the good meat
to con the sell and everything. And the Ministry of Agriculture to River State don't set up committee to investigate and make sure say any meat where them preserve with this formalin and say them go make sure say them come out and for market. So this one too now another matter where they for grand now where they happen now. I don't know why our people do always bring out waiting go even kill us. Every time when they complain about politician, this one where they happen
but
now,
you
don't get anything to do with politician. No. Now we they even use our hand.
That means now with the chop dead meat now.
You don't see them
that means now dead meat with the chop.
See them. So that's and the one where people don't think come out now. So how you see this other matter too of this formalin?
I don't like it.
You don't like it?
I don't like it.
When last did you buy meat?
I don't chop meat. I chop fish.
You chop fish.
Jeez.
So from here now,
on chicken.
We'll come up from since
I chop meat and chicken.
Since meat don't get issue now, so what will they chop now?
Chicken.
Now to buy periwinkle.
You buy periwinkle. You put meat. See, no say periwinkle. Now they for sweet pass. When you buy periwinkle, you chop. You song, you throw it, and before you don't, this place don't pay you. You don't want tire. You can't tire me for the next day.
So periwinkle no say they good. What you want more the chop now? They don't scatter meat enough for my.
No, they tell you now meat and chicken.
Chicken and meat, no be the
okay, periwinkle could now.
No, this is myself. Why they confuse yourself?
No, periwinkle is the base because when you suck it, and not don't down to the commodore. That way you go suck.
Oh, the one they don't come out already
no,
now.
that one where you go suck now.
No, this in your.
That be the idea. That is the idea.
Your gum will pay you.
Only that is the idea. So that when you suck, because you don't say no be meat. When you don't suck them, this place go pay you. You can't save you for the next morning. Where you go job.
Okay, all right, Sumba. We're done ready. 0817 Let me take music.
Only even as one day go call this man, me come station.
This man.
Me come station and they come talk. I need to blow down.
Where you want we come from?
You go in village. You look at
go we come from village. Inside ground.
Then the bladed man song. Only now you the inspiration this man to they say to put informalin for.
9 children they arrive now.
Oh God.
I got one wedding when I do one time for a bomb. I hear Ambise when children then come they sing his song. People come they happy and
come they happy. Children don't maturity.
Yes, now they're not even the Nigeria side. They're from abroad. Carry them come sing their father's song.
That is good.
And if you see one of them, you say we are cowboy. They say they sing the thing with Oyibo intonation. I say cow scallywat. Come on, get out of here. Okay, Mbamoko enter inside phone line 0817 0000951 or 0810 9510 951. Text message and WhatsApp 07019339962. Okay, Moko enter inside phone line. People don't the questions. Okay, you fit call us. Now it's still on 0817 0000951. So since meet no day again now, waiting Moko the chop. Hello, good evening.
Good evening. My name is Nathan.
What kind of name is that?
Yes.
What's on the
Yes, that's on the This month I tire me. Why? Because I mean don't talk day before yesterday. The government put them for action so that this for my
put them for where?
Action.
Try Awoka.
Action.
Network Awoka Shala. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening,
welcome.
Good evening.
Omare.
Oh, just good evening, sir. No more in.
Yes, it's more.
Yes, it's more.
I see you them, sir. I reckon, sir.
Omare.
Okay.
My brother.
This thing concerning meat,
Oh, yes.
You don't say when I discover, say meat don't get problem for River State.
Oh, yes.
So buy meat, don't cook. You don't get taste.
Say.
So for the past 2 months now, I don't stop eating meat. Now fish I eat.
Fish.
You don't like red oil. I buy red oil for oil meat.
Jeez.